The Breakfast Club are officially scammers.
On Frederick Douglass's birthday, we completed the renovations at FDMG, so we completely done.
The school is done.
School is done.
Congratulations.
We're just trying to get an inspection now.
You know what I find interesting, Dr. Umar? People like to say you a scammer, right? And I say Dr. Umar has the school. The school is
I
there.
don't mind the allegations,
I've
but
seen
show
the renovations.
proof.
But the school is there. They can't say you didn't use the money
for 7
to
years.
buy the building, to renovate it, and all of that type of stuff. But I have heard people say he'll never get accreditation.
Well, here's the thing. You don't need accreditation to be an independent school. You follow what I'm saying? Accreditation is a voluntary process. On a university level, it's a little bit more mandatory. But for grade schools, your right to operate comes from the State Department of Education. So I can voluntarily go and get some white people and ask them what they think about my black school. But being Dr. Umar Ifatunde, I don't really care about the opinions of anybody outside of my community, so we won't be doing that. So if Charlemagne said, you know what, I don't want to send my child to FDMG because they're not accredited, then send them somewhere else. Because I know what we're about to do. We're about to change the whole game.
You think the State Department of Education will ever agree to have the school?
Why not? I got all the credentials of any white person. In fact, I probably got more credentials than any other white person, so why not?
Because you black. And
then you about to shake it up.
I mean, there may be some difficulties along the road, but the biggest thing that's going to alleviate a lot of that, we are not a government-funded charter school.
Got you.
We are an independent tuition base. If you don't pay, they don't come. So remember, the school we have was a charter school. I used to be principal at a charter school. I used to be vice principal at a charter school. And there's so many hoops you got to jump through in order to keep that funding. It ain't really worth it to me. It's too much. It's too much. And so for me, I'm glad we went the way that we went. It's the first school in American history built exclusively by donations from African people from around the world. Every single continent, nearly every country donated to FDMG.
So when are you going to be opening the doors where students can start?
Well, we got to get a certificate of occupancy. I can't answer that. You feel me? See, it's always something holding me. If we had it right now, I'm confident we can start August. Not this year, because you only got a few months, but of 2027. You feel me? But the question becomes, here we go again. We're completely done. How long before you give us our paper so we can start planning for the children?
And
I can't answer that.
And with the children, what are you thinking as far as, I guess, attendance? Is it going to be paid? Is it going to be
tuition?
Free? Tuition, so the kids have
they
to
got to pay.
Tuition.
You don't pay, they don't come.
And everything. I got you.
And it's not going to be an issue for us because, number one, my popularity, my expertise, but also the demand. Where we are, if you look at the statistics for black children in Wilmington, if you go across the border and look at the educational statistics for black children in Chester, right? If you go across the border to New Jersey and look at the statistics for black children in southern New Jersey or northern Maryland, it ain't great. You follow me? So the parents in that area, they're looking for an alternative to the charter school system that's always expelling their kids, to the public school system who ain't teaching their kids, to the Catholic school system who are always looking for a reason not to allow their children in. And we're going to be just that.
What's up, words? Your boy Charles Brown back again talking facts. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Keep sending those cash apps to CLBMG. Join that membership. And are you buying that merch down below? Gang, listen. I don't want to do a lot of talking about Umar Johnson. I've done this for years. We're here for years. At this point, if you have to be convinced that Umar Johnson is a 100% scammer, then I'm going to let you deal with that yourself, right? If you want to keep sending him donations, that's on you at this point. But at some point, a scammer with accomplices actually has accomplices, and we got to start calling them out. And I said a couple videos back that the Breakfast Club is complicit in this scam at this point. They've actually done the impossible and had this man up there once again with this 3-minute, they put a 3-minute clip on their YouTube channel. And for whatever reason, they had the good doctor back up there and they're talking to him about his FDMG Academy. Okay, now what boggles my mind is that Charlemagne still, and I have not watched the full interview on Netflix. I'm not watching it on Netflix, people. I'm not on Netflix watching The Breakfast Club. I'm sorry. I wish I could help you guys out, but I'm not there yet, okay? But end of the day, at some point, we got to acknowledge that Dr. Umar is getting super duper help from Charlemagne the God, DJ Envy, Jess with the Mess, and Lauren LaRosa, because they brought this guy up there again. Let him once again say that this school, guys, you got to remember, this guy has been coming on this thing almost 10 years. with this school situation. And every time he comes about every year and a half, 2 years. And every time he comes, there's an excuse why the school isn't open. Charlemagne is being deliberately obtuse with it when he deals with this guy, because this guy does a lot of numbers, and the last thing they need right now is a dud interview. So they definitely want the guy, the King Kong consciousness, to come back up there and give him a shot in the arm, and that's exactly what he's doing. But end of the day, they can't put these long clips up no more, so they put up the 3-minute clip as a teaser. And in the 3-minute clips, I'm gonna play it in a minute because it's absolutely horrific that they're still sending people over there, even after listening to this man tell yet another excuse with this manipulative, half laugh, half condescending conversation that he has. He's clearly one of these guys that wants to talk through his teeth and smile and try to fool you into thinking that he's telling you the truth when he's clearly lying, okay? So at the end of the day, you're going to be like, Charlz, how do we know he's lying? At this point, I think there's enough videos out there. If you don't know that it don't take this long to put up a school that immediately doesn't even have accreditation, it's not going to be an accredited school. He's going to charge these people. After all of this, he's raised $2 million since whatever year he started, 2015, whatever year it was, it's before that. But whatever year he started raising money for this exact school, he was raising money for another school that it didn't work out, right? So now he started with this exact school, and this has been going on since around 2015, some stuff like that, okay? Now, with all this money that he's raised for this school, he's still going to make these kids pay tuition. So all he had to do was buy the buildings. The buildings were allegedly $450,000, which he had. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, whoever's going to be in the comments. But at the end of the day, he's admittedly raised over $2 million, right? So at the end of the day, we actually even have him on record saying a bunch of different stats, but at this point, well, we can pinpoint him saying on the actual Breakfast Club, right? And I'm going to have to salute to Poetic Flacco, who brought this up and put this in the zeitgeist about what Dr. Umar has said out his mouth that's going to get him in trouble. But he said that on the Breakfast Club, he said he raised $500,000 in 2015. Then in 2017, he said he raised $750,000. Then when he went back in 2019, he said he only had $500,000. That's $250,000 unaccounted for. You're not supposed to be pocketing donations for yourself. People are sending them to your PayPal, right? You said you had one bank since you was a little kid. That's the one bank you use. So PayPal works like this. When people give you donations to PayPal, you can send that right to your bank. End of story. So he has to be mixing this money with his personal money. When the bank got, what did he say? We got debanked, right? Well, what I just found out recently, which I didn't even know, when you get debanked, which he's not telling nobody, it's because the bank thinks you're doing suspicious activities. Not that someone's doing it to you. They think that you're doing it. And then you get debanked for that. But Umar's not telling us that. But let's just stay focused. So he told Charlemagne that in 2015 he had 500,000. Now he never stopped raising funds, gang. The very first year he started raising funds for this, he made 500,000. That's $500,000. Came back 4 years later, right? Telling he told him he had 750,000 in 2017. Came back in 2019, said he only had 500,000. So this is what I'm talking about. If you can hear that information, just like everybody else, Charlemagne, you gotta say, well, hold up, buddy. Even the most non-math and mather can figure out there's a difference of $250,000 in what you physically said on this show, let alone what you've said out there in the rest of the world. Right? The rest of the world already knows there was $2 million dumped into this school that you only spent $450,000 on, and you almost lost it. We still don't know how you ended up with the money to pay it when you almost lost it last year. Remember that? But every time you went up to the Breakfast Club, it's about to open, the HVAC, this, that, and the third. So in this little clip right here, once again, it's an excuse. This guy's so good at this now, gang. He's setting up an excuse for the excuse after the next excuse. He's giving you 3 and 4 excuses in a row so that when one actually comes true, he got 3 more that's going to block the school, right? The funny part about it is this school ain't even accredited. I don't know why you would pay. Why? Make this make sense why I would pay money to send my kid to a school that has no credit. It has no accreditation. Make that make sense. You've had these buildings for 7 years and you're still trying to fix the HVAC and get inspected. You want us to believe that. The buildings are allegedly already paid off. You're paying fines for little stuff. And you don't have the little stuff money. You almost lost it for little stuff money. You asked for an extension. You admittedly made more money than the buildings actually cost, and you were asking for an extension last year. You made that money 7-8 years ago that the schools cost, but you were asking for an extension from the state, which you turned the paperwork and you didn't turn it in time. And you used that as an excuse. Then you try to say the state was messing with you and they were trying to get you out of there when they the ones that sold you the shit. Right? So, end of the day, Umar plays, he's at this point, you guys are going to believe it, right? I go in the comments and it's not even like, go on the Instagram post with this guy. It's like 50-50 of black people still believe in this guy, right? They still believe. Now on YouTube, they're a little more savvy, right? It's more comments that they figured this guy out. It's been a while. It took him a while. It took you guys a while. It took you 5-6 years. It took you a while, but you came around. I've been reporting on Umar gang. I'm just gonna be honest. At least 4, maybe 5 years. I've been calling him a scammer. I've been doing videos on Umar. I've been saying this school ain't never gonna open. I said that 3 years ago. I said, flame me up in the comments when this school open. This school still ain't gonna open. He went on here, told them that the thing was ready, set, go. This, that, and the third, and it still ain't gonna open. Let me read. I went on Google, right? AI, whatever it is, right? And I asked Google. I said, "What's the updates of the FDM, the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey?" It's so many goofy things going on with this thing. I don't even have the time or the patience to sit here and talk about this thing for too long. But let's touch in. It says Umar Johnson has reportedly raised over $2 million. This is Google. This is Google telling you he reportedly raised over $2 million. But he claimed he only had $500,000 when he was trying to buy the school. All right? So right there, there's a discrepancy. He got debanked from the bank he was with since a kid last year because of discrepancies of his own making. Nobody hacked you. No one got in your account. They debanked him. But somehow Charlemagne doesn't know any of this. And Charlemagne is making fun of the people calling him a scammer. Okay? At this point, Charlemagne, you're culpable in this. I'm just gonna be honest. You've been making this guy able to get donations for at least almost 10 years. So at some point, you gotta go when he go to court, your ass need to go to court. So let me continue. Umar has reportedly raised over $2 million in donations over the past 11 to 15 years for his proposed school, the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey RBG International Leadership Academy for Black Boys. And I'm just going to be honest. I need to get. They need to have Lennon Honor up there. Lennon Honor, the guy, the anti, the rival. The guy that is his actual the guy that wants to be the opposite of Umar Johnson. He needs to go up there to the Breakfast Club because they need an opposing opinion up there because they let Umar come up there and then they go 2 years without nobody else coming up there to say anything. I don't know if Lennon Honor has been up there or not. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. But they need to bring him up there because he knows a lot more about this than me. And Charlemagne is willfully ignorant. He doesn't want to know anything. He's happy just sipping whatever he's sipping, kissing Umar's ass and just being really fucking cool with him. And it makes no sense. You're not capable of the job. Envy is over there detached. He could take it or leave it because he don't really give two shits. So he's leaning down in his chair, got his hat on. He don't give two shits what's going on. Ask a question here or there. Then he go back to looking at what the mix gonna be for the Drive at 5 or whatever fucking mix they got going on. So he ain't even tripping off this shit. Right? Jess with the mess, she fucking loves this nigga for whatever reason. And they're defending her love life to this nigga. Like, why? Who gives two fucks what this nigga think? Let's just be honest. Like, who gives a fuck what he says about anything? This nigga's a bald-faced scammer. But let me continue. As of March 2026, Dr. Umar's FDMG Academy in Wilmington, Delaware remains non-functional as a school, despite over a decade of fundraising. While exterior renovations such as new windows and paint have been completed on the former elementary school building, it is not yet open for students. Now, he was supposed to open this in 2024 and 2025. Now it's 2026. He went quiet for the whole year, gang. I'm just going to be honest. He been quiet. He been quiet almost all of 25 because that's when it's supposed to open, and then now he popping out in March. Well, he got to get his. He figured out all his how he gonna word this shit, this, that, and the third. For a while, you couldn't find him. For a while, he was gone. Right? He would only end up on these little podcasts that really wasn't going nowhere. But now he's popping out. He's everywhere. He got a big jolly smile and he got a whole lot of swagger. The school ain't open, dog. I don't know what you're cheesing for. But let me continue, right? So it says that the current status and the updates as of early 2026. Reports indicate that while some work, such as interior flooring, has been done, the building is not fully finished or approved as a school. You got to think, he's talking it might open in 2027. How, Sway? You have no staff. You have no curriculum. You don't have nothing going there for these kids to sit on. You don't have nothing lined up. You don't even have an inspection. There's so many things wrong with this school that it's absolutely no way that thing opens in 2027. And the funny thing is, the last time you went on the Breakfast Club, you said, we're going to try to open this thing next August, which was going to be 2025. You're always about to open and you're trying to open it, and there's always an excuse. And the people ain't caught on to this yet are, I don't know what to call them, cracker barrels or something. It's weird. And it's people right now. I went on Instagram. I saw this post, and it said people still in there. It take a long time to open up a school. This is how people think when they just don't want to know nothing. It takes it don't take this long. He's not even accredited, and he's not even going to be paying for the students' education. They're paying for their own education. Then you got to hear the asinine amount of distance he's going to be trying to pick up kids. He's going to be trying to pick up kids that are 2 hours away from the school. He's trying to service Jersey, Delaware, and all in other parts of, like, I think Pennsylvania and goofy shit. I'm not sure about Pennsylvania, but I think it is. So he's going to try to service all these schools. So he's going to try to have all these areas. He's going to try to have kids on buses for 2 hours. Both ways. It ain't making no sense. You send your kid on a bus for 2 hours, you deserve a kid that's going to be whatever. I'm not even going to wish nothing on the kid, but he ain't going to be good. 2 hours every day, going to a school with no accreditation, with this fool as the headmaster, good luck. The guy that has a girl in his house that he was calling the throat goat, that he picked up some random chick and asked her to watch his mom. And she said the house so filthy she can barely think straight in there. So this is the guy that you want to send your kid on a 2 hour trip? Good luck. Right? And I know I'm a struggle streamer, but he like to call people that talk about the struggle streamers. Well, guess what? I'll be your huckleberry because I'm here. All right? So let me finish this conversation, and then I'm going to play this clip. There's no official date has been finalized. Dr. Johnson has frequently missed previous opening timelines, often citing challenges with city officials, contractors, and financial issues. This guy has blamed everyone but himself. Everyone's the problem. Black people's the problem. The city's the problem. Officials are the problem. The money's the problem. You ain't giving him enough money. He needs more money. These people want to believe anything this guy says, and it's ridiculous. Oh, it take a long time to open a school that he already supposedly has. He paid for. He already paid for the school, guys. I don't know if you guys understand what's going on. So at the end of the day, he should have. Right? He said he already had, first of all, at the lowest case scenario, he should have $500,000. He made that back in 2015. So imagine how much he's made. I'm just going to go on a limb. It's well over $2 million. He said every corner of the globe, every country, somebody black, somebody from somewhere has donated. And I'm sure it ain't all black people. I'm sure people that just want to help has donated. He said all countries all over the world have donated to this school. So I'm going to go on a limb. I would say Dr. Umar has made somewhere between $5 and $10 million. With all these people out here that think that they want to help this man, and he's just getting all these donations. And he's blew it. He blew a lot of it. All right? That's just my opinion. I know for a fact it's over $2 million. Because it's already, first of all, it's already documented. If I'm not mistaken, he said it himself. All right, so let me continue. Dr. Johnson has blamed the delays on what he describes as racial discrimination by city officials, haters, and contractors. The project has faced scrutiny over the management of hundreds of thousands of dollars in donations over 11 plus years. And in August 2025, the property was reported to be facing a potential sheriff sale due to unpaid fees, although this did not occur. He, if I'm not mistaken, he admitted that they were about to lose it. That's when he disappeared. All right? Trying to figure out what the hell was going on. And then they froze his accounts, this, that, and the third. That guy was running scared, gang. But he came out on the other side, something happened and cleared up. The skies cleared up, and they're not gonna really come down on him quite yet. But at the end of the day, it's coming, gang, because this guy's very crafty, but at some point that audit in that account ain't gonna get just as crafty as his ass. But let me continue because I want to play this clip. And Charlemagne he's still the trusty, loyal sidekick, right? He's still his Robin to Batman. He is Batman and Robin. He's Robin, right? And he's still sitting here willfully just obtuse, right? Deliberately dumb. And he's going to sit here and play dumb. And I'm going to let you hear this clip because Charlemagne acts like he's speaking as if he's asking questions. So you still don't know, but you still got him up there and telling people to go donate to him. Let me play this. This is insane. Give me a second. It's your boy.
That FDMG. So on Frederick Douglass's birthday, we completed the renovations at FDMG. So we completely done.
School is done.
School is done.
Congratulations.
We're just trying to get an inspection now.
You know what I find interesting?
You do know that every time he comes up there, they congratulate him on opening the school. I've seen it 4 times already. 3 to 4 times they've said congratulations on opening the school. But let's continue the conversation.
Dr. Umar, people like to say you a scammer, right? And I say Dr. Umar has the school. The school is
I
there.
don't mind the allegation.
Hold on. Let's unpack what Charlemagne just did. Instead of asking him, Umar, are you a scammer? He said, people like to call you a scammer, but I know you have the school. This is a 3-minute clip. I understand that. It may be way more detailed. I don't know, but I can only go by the clip. And Charlemagne asked the question and answered it himself before Umar could even get the scam out of his face. Because Charlemagne wants this guy up there for the clicks and views because he does very well. Every time he comes up there, it's 1 million, 2 million views. It's crazy. It ain't going to be like that this time because they only have a 3-minute clip. But he's still worth money. They're hoping that you go and get your Netflix account and go and log in and watch the full interview. That's what they're hoping. I don't think they understand. This kind of interview is not going to translate well to people running to Netflix. They're not going to run to Netflix for Dr. Umar. Them days is over. All that 1 million and 2 million, they're not going to stop what they're doing, logging to Netflix to go see it. They used to watch it on YouTube. This is what it was for. Let me rewind that so we can have the full context.
And I say Dr. Umar has the school. The school is
I
there.
don't mind the allegations,
I've
but
seen
show
the
proof.
renovations. But the school is there. They can't say you didn't use the
Yeah,
money
for 7
to
years.
buy the building, to renovate it, and all of that type of stuff. But
See, he been renovating it as long as he's had it. We don't even know if he's finished. He's saying he's finished. There is no proof that he finished anything. All right, Charlemagne? Charlemagne won't ask the follow-up questions. He won't even let the man answer. And this guy screaming, oh, who's to have proof? You're a scammer, so you're going to go out of your way to make sure there's no proof. But if all the money funnels into you, into your PayPal, and you're dumping it into your bank, and no one has access to it, how are they going to prove anything? But like I said, Lennon Honor goes hours, 5-6 hour streams, breaking down everything that Umar is doing crazy. And it all lines up. So at the end of the day, I don't got the time or the strength or the effort to sit here for hours. But Lennon Honor got a lot of time. Go check his shit out. I don't know what else he got going on in his life, but I know he on this nigga's ass. Okay? Let me continue.
I have heard people say he'll never get accreditation.
Well, here's the thing. You don't need accreditation to be an independent school.
Right there, he's telling you he will never get accreditation. Right there, he's telling you if you sign your kid up, don't expect this to ever be an accredited school. This just going to be me running around, still asking for donations and using your money that you're paying to have this kid go here for whatever I feel like.
You follow what I'm saying? Accreditation.
It's going to be useless. The education he's offering, not even beyond the scam that to even have all this money, the education he's offering is going to be some made up shit. Because I watched a past episode of Breakfast Club and all of the curriculum that he was laying out. I did a whole video. I stopped it and I broke down the entire nonsense of all the the classes and curriculums that he was going to do. This was probably 3 years ago about how dumb this shit was. The school itself that he's laying out is going to be dumb. And not to mention, he's going to be, it irritates me to even have to say he would open this shit. Because he's never going to open it. But the simple fact of the matter is, if he were to open it, he would be the worst person to work for because he's going to be worrying about who you're sleeping with. If you're with a white girl, white guy, he's going to be on that bullshit. So it's like it doesn't fucking matter what you know or how good you are to the black kids or whatever you've done, your accreditations. He's going to be worrying about what you're doing in your bedroom. So it's not going to be a good place of business in the first place. Just off of that. But it will never open, so we won't have to worry about that.
Education is a voluntary process. On a university level, it's a little bit more mandatory. But for grade schools, your right to operate comes from the State Department of Education. So I can voluntarily go and get some white people and ask them what they think about my black school. But being Dr. Umar Ifatunde, I don't really care about the opinions of anybody outside of my community, so we won't be doing that. So if Charlemagne said, you know what?
But then it's the same one to disrespect his community, saying there's the ones that are the reason his school, he hired some contractors that were bad business and they were black. So the black contractors aren't the way to go. He said he went and got some white ones and they knocked it right out. But this guy talks out of both sides of his fucking mouth. Excuse my language.
I don't want to send my child to FDMG because they're not accredited, then send them somewhere else. Because I know what we about to do.
I don't want to send my child to FDMG because they'll send him somewhere else. Talk like a charlatan, gang. He talks like a guy that's scamming you as he's talking. This is why Charlemagne is mesmerized. Right? The boo-boo, hey boo-boo. He's fucking Yogi Bear and Charlemagne's boo-boo. And he just sitting there, man, hey Yogi. Like, listen, this guy right here, he's good, gang. He's very good. He's good at what he does.
Dude, we about to change the whole game.
You think the State Department of Education will ever agree to have this school?
Why not? I got all the credentials of any white person. In fact,
Now listen, watch what he says. He says, I got all the credentials of any white person, but probably more. But then he goes on to say that the school, that they still might not get whatever. This guy talks out of both sides of his face. Let's listen.
I probably got more credentials than any other white person, so why not?
Because you black. And
then you about to shake it up.
Charlemagne is trying so hard to give this guy reasons to not do what he says he's going to do. But let's let him say it.
There may be some difficulties along the road, but the biggest thing that's going to alleviate a lot of that, we are not a government-funded charter school.
Gotcha.
We are an independent tuition base. If you don't pay, they don't come. So remember, the school we have was a charter school. I used to be principal at a charter school. I used to be vice principal at a charter school. And there's so many hoops you got to jump through in order to keep that funding. It ain't really worth it to me. It's too much. It's too much. And so for me,
it's so ridiculous because end of the day, you were the principal. The school, you didn't have to do that. They had a whole board and everything else dealing with that. You just were the principal. Right? So end of the day, he's making like he was running the whole shit. You were the principal. You're not dealing with all that shit. This is a whole different animal. It's not that guy's whole responsibility to keep the school open. It's not. It's just not. And that's not how that shit works.
I'm glad we went the way that we went. It's the first school in American history built exclusively by donations from African people from around the world. Every single continent, nearly every country donated to FDMG.
So when are you going to be opening the doors where students can start?
Well, we got to get a certificate of occupancy. I can't answer that.
Right there. And he just was all big bone and brolic about, shoot, I get people just pay me. That's all you got to do. I got all these credentials. And now he asked, so when you going to open? Oh, shit, I can't say because we got to get a certificate of occupancy. Silly. It's always something. Right? It's always something. He just was big bone and brolic about how he got all these credentials and he's getting paid to play, so you ain't got to worry about that. Then he went right into the hey, shit, it's out of my hands. I don't know what your guess is good as mine. It gets to that. It's always that. It's always something.
You feel me? See, it's always something holding me. If we had it right now, I'm confident we can start August. Not this year, because you only got a few months, but of 2027. You feel me? But the question becomes, here we go again. We're completely done. How long before you give us our paper so we can start planning for the children?
And now it's somebody else's hands, right? The school is done, but now they got to give me the paper. If they don't give me the paper, then we can't get ready for the children. What children? What are we talking about? Where's your desk? Where's your, you don't have nothing in the school. It looks atrocious in there. It absolutely, every time he walks through there, it looks atrocious. It took years, gang. Like, it took years to get the basics in there. The basics, paint on the walls. It took 7 years. Like, it's a disaster. The buildings are dilapidated. They've been dilapidated for years. You can't even tell me nothing's running all up and through there. The buildings have been closed for years. So I don't know what this guy's thinking. He's just going to open up in August. It's insanity to me. You're going to staff it and everything. You're going to have all this. Come on, gang. It's just.
I can't answer that.
And with the children, what are you thinking as far as, I guess, attendance? Is it going to be paid? Is it going to be
Tuition.
free? Tuition. So the kids have
They got to pay.
tuition.
You don't
'Cause
pay, they
gotta
don't
teachers
come.
and everything. I got you.
And it's not going to be an issue for us because, number one, my popularity, my expertise, but also the demand. Where we are, if you look at the statistics for black children in Wilmington, if you go across the border and look at the educational statistics for black children in Chester, right? If you go across the border to New Jersey and look at the statistics for black children in southern New Jersey or northern Maryland, it ain't great. You follow me? So the parents in that area, they're looking for an alternative to the charter school system that's always expelling their kids.
He just said Chester. He said northern Maryland. He said Delaware. So he's trying to pull kids from all these different directions. All right? All these different directions going to come to his charter school. Now, maybe that's how that works now already in different schools. I don't see him being able to do all it. I'm just going to be honest. I don't see it. He doesn't even have a staff in line. Nothing's lined up. You know how much stuff it's going to take to plan that stuff, and you can't even get the buildings painted, dog. You're just now you ain't even get the inspection to occupy the building. Now you're talking bus routes. Come on, man. It's not feasible. You're not the one to do all this. It won't happen.
Kids, to the public school system who ain't teaching their kids, to the Catholic school system who are always looking for a reason not to allow their children in, and we're going to be just that.
I'm really like, at some point, we got to look across from him. At this point, it's not even about him. It's about this guy sitting there, that girl, the other girl, who Lauren LaRosa is an extremely bright woman. She should be saying more than this. But why should she? Because when the whole room is looking like, oh, man, we love this guy, da-da-da-da-da. At the end of the day, somebody in there is repressing everybody else to not say nothing to this guy. Because at this point, for you to be this willfully ignorant and not ask any good questions at all, to sit there and tell people that this guy has bought the buildings when he had these buildings for 9, 7, 8, 9, I don't even know how long he had these buildings, but he had them a very long time, and they're still haven't been inspected. You haven't even got the building inspected. This is to the people that be like, it take a long time to open the school. Don't take a long time to paint it. It don't take a long time to put HVACs in there. It don't take years, dog. Especially when you made $2 million and the schools only allegedly cost $450,000. It don't take this long to get this place painted, but it's always a prize, always this, that, and the third. Listen, the Breakfast Club is officially, they're attached at the hip with a 100% scammer. And at this point, if you don't understand that, then we probably have an issue. Matter of fact, you probably need to be in that school with them. You probably need to be on one of them buses for 2 hours riding to the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey School. No matter what race or gender you are, you need to be going over there too. Because at the end of the day, you belong right with them. I'm just going to be honest. Anybody at this point, if you still think this guy is, and I tell you, it works like clockwork. Somebody going to get my comments and say, what are you doing for the black people? Well, I'm doing as much as his ass. Because what is he doing? Besides collecting donations and pretending to open a school that ain't never opening. All right? I'm going to leave it at that. CLBMG. Let me know what you think in the comments, man. Head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know who sent you. They ship all over the continental U.S. Also, every Wednesday night, we go live on the What Show, me, TJ, and Fliz. Around 9:15, 9:30, tap in. We got a new video. It's called Peanut Butter Tims. Right here on my channel. Type in Peanut Butter Tims. Charles Brown. It's me, TJ, and Fliz. We walking on there. Getting them comments, too. Share that video. Hit the like button. I'm out of here, man. I'm going to catch you on that flip side. Peace. Look,
mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine.
Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.
Get my coat, get my sheepskin, grab my wallet, get my pocket knife, and get that hat right there. We out. Grab my pocket knife too. Let's go. When I first came to the city, niggas didn't believe me. I just wanted to join a team and throw assist pass easily. 6 man off the bench, alley-oop pass freely. Suit up for one game and hope a scout might see me. But nah, niggas is greedy, wasn't rocking with him. Unplugged the scoreboard, put a lock on the gym. Told me to power forward, point guard at the rim. And left me with no center and a ball full of phlegm. Not knowing that I'm a dog, a Rottweiler within, with the heart of a pit bull that don't bark for pretend. My bites cut deep, break the bone and the skin, with the level of hustlenomics you do not comprehend. So first I took a block down on the west side end, and then secured a spot with some goons and some kin, and then sent out some flyers, let the games begin. And in 6 months time, the city like that's him. Oh yeah, he the one that moved the hustle to the burbs. And yeah, he the one that knocked the hustlers off the curb. And yeah, he the one that set up shop without a word. And he the one that got it cracking, and all he did was rapping by the Hooters. I kept killers from being shooters. Put a mic in a thug's hand, now he loyal like past fans. Take a man off the streets past the needles and crack cans. Promise mama to keep him safe, then put some food in his face and he'll kill for you. But I don't need him for that. Click like, click share, tell them bitches we back. Share the whole location, tell them niggas where we at. Cause we out here, we ain't the cheese, we the trap.